Hello everybody. This is Claude Balls, with another little show coming up. There's been so much going on this week. This has been a real big week. Hello, captive desk. I'll cheer on Claude, married once, and I'm still am 35 years later. Choke on it, Kent. Yeah, and Kent would call you probably some sort of atheist and immoral and all the other idiot followers of Kent, like Proverbs guys, etc., with all their broken marriages and dalliances and failing to even take care of their children through child support, and they dare to preach morality against atheists. You'd have to laugh, wouldn't you? So yeah, so anyway, I just better click this to put up the link to the show. Yep, it's going on there now, in case anybody wishes to, well, hopefully someone will wish to come on. Captive Disc, can I just ask if you can hear me? I'm pretty sure you can, but I don't want to have the same technological problems as incompetent Kent. I mean, that has to be one of the biggest laughs. Even on his show today, the first X number of minutes was total silence. He was muted, and this is just happening all the time. I just can't believe if a fool like me, in terms of technical competence, can manage to get on a show, but Ken can't. It's just bizarre. Oh, good. Captive confirms my audio is fine. Um, yes. And Tubian is there saying, Tubian says, Captive Desk, imagine an evil atheist has more successful marriage than the godly man. Yeah, that's it. And I wouldn't go after, this is what some of these people can't understand. If Kent is just a Christian, he's preaching the gospel, and he's not a hypocrite, I wouldn't go after him at all. There's plenty of people that I know that are Christians, and they are fine people. But then you get people like Kent, who anybody can tell is an a-hole. And you see these people, just completely falling over backwards to support him. I just think that is bizarre. So yeah, that's just to say that. So it doesn't matter to me whether a person's an atheist or Christian. The problem comes with the hypocrisy, and there's plenty of those. So I've challenged Kent to come on this evening. Claude challenge Kent Hovind to debate marital morality. That's alliterative words, marital morality. And I hope he comes on, during the time we're on. I'm no doubt his little people that go and tell on others to Kent, people that report others to him will have told him it's on. And of course, he's been in his shows, he stayed well away from the topic. In fact, he called people the other, and I think Billy, formerly truck driving Billy, put something up and where Kent had called people morons. You morons don't even know what's going on. Well, here's your chance to tell us, Kent. If we morons are so stupid we don't know what's going on, your chance to tell us. But just remember when you're telling us, I'm sure that your wife, your latest wife, will also be given the opportunity to go on and give her side of the story, Kent. As I've mentioned before, on Kent's tombstone, this will be the epitaph. Here lies Kent Hovind, and the epitaph, through no fault of his own, because he's always the one that's right. Always. Everybody else is just horrible, horrible people and wives that has done him wrong. And then he compares himself to Bible characters. I forget the ones that he talks about, Joe. Ones that were done wrong and covered in plagues and boils, and even to Jesus. What happened to him? Kent compares himself to that. He is, he, he thinks that he's being persecuted. Well, he's not. If anything, he's the person that does the persecution. He's a persecutor. Persecutor, yeah, that's a good thing. Goodness, I was appeared on Gangsters Channel a bit earlier. That was good. I like that very much, and there are plenty of Christians on there that I don't dislike. One or two that I'm not too keen on, but that's the part. But that's a part of it. As long as I get a chance to have my say, and which mostly they're sort of joking around. It got a bit hard to actually get a word in, but it was good. And there's a lot of thing goes on between, or what is right, Orthodox Christianity or Catholic Christianity or whatever. And that can go on for a while. So yes, I had a few funny things to say there, but I didn't get much of a response. Oh, fancy people not understanding the Claude. Captive Desk now says here, to be clear, no offence intended for anyone that had a bad marriage and got out. My comments are directed. Yes, no, we understood that, Captive. We all understand that we can have a bad marriage and it can be bad if it's Christian or if it's atheist. That's the bit that doesn't make any difference whatsoever. And that's what we're sort of trying to say. And I think it's great that you're together for 35 years. It is really wonderful. And I can celebrate that whether I'm an atheist or a Christian. It's just great. And some people it works and some people it doesn't. But, I think most of us at the time Kent got married to Sandra, most thought it wouldn't last. And to be honest, I didn't. But I tell you what, it lasted longer than I thought. I gave it about 2 years, but I think it's been several years. So, she obviously could put up with a lot. So I think she's actually a fine woman. I don't like that the insinuations that somehow she took or as in stole money. I don't believe she is that sort of a person at all. And if she took money with her when she left, it would be money to which she was entitled. So, and imagine being with Kent all that time. She waited on him hand and foot, She was always told that she had to submit to him, I can imagine. Women were belittled. She had her daughter there, so her daughter there would have been very stereotyped in what she was allowed to do. And then the next thing, Hovind's calling himself daddy in a way because he says she's a daughter. Well, she might not have liked that, She might have, she might not have, I don't know. But I can see a teenage girl not particularly liking a wanker like Hovind saying he was a stepdaddy. I just don't see it. So sometimes people thrust themselves too much into the lives of split families, and then it doesn't always have a very good result. Big Bad Mama. Hi, Claude. I'm glad my Kent video got a lot of views. It got quite a few, not huge. And this sounds like envy. Yours got more. But I am pleased because we're all in this together. And the fact that yours got more doesn't offend the Claude in any way. Right. Okay. And of course, I used some clips from one of stuff that you've done in the past that just was too good not to put up again. And of course, I put the one up. I forget this was mine or was whoever. It doesn't really matter. Oh, I've got over 1,000. Oh, Big Bad Mama. Wow, that's cool. And I think I mentioned Kurisu Yamato. He's got about 350 or so now on his. He had a live stream earlier, and then yours definitely over 500. You'll do better one day. Oh, isn't that patronizing? And yeah, so but it doesn't matter. It's the communal good, and you know that none of our, well, neither mine nor Big Bad Mama channel are monetized at all, and never have been, and we don't do this for anything like that. We are doing this. Well, I'm doing this, and I'm sure. I want people to know if they're going to go into any form of relationship, and I don't mean marriage necessarily, but that's a possibility with Kent, but any form of dealings with Kent, that they need to know what they're up against. And if I can save the souls of even one person from his clutches, then my work on earth will be done. Isn't that nice? Yeah. So BBM says the word has gotten out about Kent and Sandra, which is right. That's what we're doing for it. We saw what is the name of the other trucker, Billy Trucker, truck driving Billy, who now has a slightly different name. His one is a good one too, and he says it like it is. And there's L Trucker now appearing, hell, saying in the comments. Hi Al. Yeah, when I see GTSY, because it took me, I didn't understand what all these. I thought it meant gutsy, Hi Al, gutsy. But now I realise it means good to see you. So I have to get used to all these different acronyms. I think they're called, and yeah. So that's been good. Captive Desk, Peterborough, Dave. Hi, Dave. I'm not sure what all these things mean, but that's all good. Al says salute, hello, in other words, to Claude. Yeah, and yeah. So I had hoped today that Kent would have addressed the matter in his show. He can't keep on going pretending forever. You can tell it's having an effect on him. It's making him difficult with his tech. Well, his tech guys are totally useless. So today's streams, the first few minutes was silent. Probably one of the best things he's ever said. But yeah. Oh, Al says, so Kent lost another one. Yes, he did. Yeah, it sounds like a fisherman, doesn't it? The one that got away. So anyway, let's hope that Sandra's okay, because what I want to stress too, and I know in no way belittle Sandra, and I know some people don't, and they say, oh, she should have known. Look, what I can say is this, that love is blind. It is blind. God, it'd have to be to want to go with Hovind. But anyway, love is blind. It's probably a good thing, in a way, that love is blind. And, I don't blame her at all. And what I'm happy is that she is eventually broken free of the shackles of captivity with a narcissist and a male chauvinist. And I think that Kent Hovind's sister-in-law, Diane Hovind, did post on a few comments on some channels. She probably posted before we actually knew, because when I saw what she posted, I didn't quite believe it, to be honest. And the confirmation for me came when Kent's tech guy, Joseph II, it's quite a pompous name in a way, I suppose, he confirmed it on the show of Gangster Ghost in response to a question I asked. And I thought we weren't going to get an answer. But suddenly we did. And of course it was the very time when I was occupied with other things. I was running around trying to get, and thinking, oh, this won't last, this will disappear, but it didn't. So that's very good. Captive Death. Boom, boom, another one bites the dust. And it writes itself. Well, these stories, Kent's story, you couldn't make this shit up, could you, if you tried? I mean, one of the great writers must actually think about, do I do a series? Do I write a novel using some of the stories that have happened with Hovind over the years? Do I have a screenplay and a mini-series? And The big mama, the grifting part of Kent's video had no audio. So if we decide to do a Kent Hovind show, a movie, oh, Robin, hi Robin. What I'm wondering is who will be, who will play Kent? And I'm wondering, Big Bad Mum is quite tall, so I'm thinking of casting Big Bad Mama as Kent. And who's going to be Stephen Ass-licking Bolin? That's what I want to know. They have to be quite a tall person as well, and they've got to be prepared to sort of just slobber all over him. I'm trying to think who I could play. I think I could probably try and play Dan Posey. And most of you will think, well, why would you want to have Dan? Well, he's such a fool. And I think he needs to be, exhibited, and like the fools of old. And being on a movie would be good. So that's what I intend to do. Robin, do you want to play Sandra? There's quite a few female parts, if you pardon the expression, that we need to fill. Oh no, that wasn't right. What I mean is we need people to act the female. Now it's getting worse, isn't it? Started off with trying to fill female parts, and now we need people to act them. We need Sandra, of course. We need Cindy. We need Mary, and we need Joe. So BBM could be Kent, and AJ could do the voice. Yeah, well, lip syncing. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if I was really going to do this movie on the cheap, I'd only hire one person who could act all the parts. Guess who it is? I'll tell you in a second. If you don't, guess who it is. Who could play all the parts in this movie? He's a frequent participant. Okay. A frequent participant. His name begins with A. Aiden. It's Aiden. Agent Aiden could do the whole lot. And Robin says she'd rather play Achilles. Well, I suppose, yes. Yeah. He has less, and I suppose, I'm a big man, I was when I made his name, yes. I would rather play Achilles. Big man Mama says Aiden. Look, I'm sort of talking okay, but I feel I do need some prompts in the comments, or for someone to come on. Otherwise, I'm going to lose steam. I normally can't talk, for too long. So I did put up a short earlier, which we could discuss. We don't need to see it, and that is the excuses that Kent will come up with, right? And one of them was that she was refusing to submit to her husband as the Bible requires. So that's one. Then the other one was that the money was misappropriated, but we've sort of, not from Kent himself, but we have heard that from Kent's go-to guy for tech, Joseph. He's told us that money's gone. I personally don't believe it. Am I repeating myself there? I just don't believe it at all. I don't think she would take money. She wasn't there for the money. If anything, Kent would be trying to take money off her, just like he did with Cindy. He had far more luck with Cindy, because Cindy had a few houses and her lifelong savings that her father had handed on to her, and Kent managed to get his claws into that. But I don't think Sandra was the same. I believe Sandra had a house. I just hope that she still has one, and then of course she can go there and get back involved in her church, because I do believe she's a genuine Christian, and lead a great life. Robin says he has a lot of trouble believing Kent wants Nookie very often these days. I know, but he does seem to have a high drive in that area. Oh, Mark Reed, hello. Hello, Mark. Hello, beautiful people. He may as well have said, hello, beautiful people. Oh, and Claude. Story of my life today. No. Yes. So, what were the other things people say that Kent will use as an excuse? And he'll say you shouldn't. What is it? Touch God's anointed. Touch not God, or is it? It's when you don't criticize anybody who's a pastor because you're touching God's anointed, or somehow. Yeah, I forget the actual term. You wouldn't like that. Robin says he must be receiving gender affirming care. That's a possibility, but imagine him raging against that. Oh my God. And, he rages against welfare. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't understand how the health system works in America, but if he has insurance, I take it he gets looked after at a hospital. What happens, for example, when Kent goes to a hospital but he doesn't have insurance? Who pays for that? Is that like a form of welfare or not? Yeah. Yeah. What's this? Sounds like a Bruce rule. Now, I know who that Bruce is. Quite a know everything sort of a dominant guy, but yeah. Mark Reed says, has he made any kind of statement on it? Too soon? Well, he hasn't made a statement, but he knows that it's out there now. There's been people in the comments, and I've gone back to look at those comments, half an hour later, and they've gone. So unless people would have to keep reinventing themselves. Someone rang up and BBM, Big Bad Mama, made a short of it. That was good. When I heard it, it was not very clear, but BBM has tidied up the audio, and it's very clear now. It's a great short. And I'm told we should all keep an eye on Big Bad Mama's channel because apparently there's one going to be really good tomorrow. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Big Bad Mama, you should really sort of put it up privately and just give Claude the link, and then I can lord it over everybody else knowing what's coming up. I tell you what I did do is, on the announcement, that was when the tech guy announced that Sandra had left and supposedly taken this money, I did find a thing where Kent announced his marriage to Sandra. We did it last week, he says, and he's got this ring. And he waves it as though Cindy's looking. It's his third wife. Can't assume that everybody knows everything. Is looking, and he waves it in front of her, and he says, "Cindy, you blew it." It was probably the most awful thing I think he's ever done. Well, done lots of awful things, including death. But to wave that ring in front of his former wife, the wife who he got in excess of $100,000 from, probably more like $200,000, milked of her money, treated her like crap, filmed everything she did, and then got rid of her. And annulled the marriage. I think that's the term. I wasn't sure if he annulled the marriage or annulled the marriage, but I guess they're two different things. He possibly did both, and we won't get into that. But that's what he did. Because he goes big about his first wife. He didn't divorce her; she divorced him. Well, he's annulled the rest of them because whether real marriages or not is a bit hard to tell. So he does this anal thing and annuls the marriage, which means technically in a church term it never took place in the first place. So that makes him a fornicator, which he seems to hate. I don't mind being a fornicator. Sex outside marriage, I think it's quite normal for most people. I don't think it's something really awful. I don't think you just go around shagging nilly-willy. Is that the saying? Nilly-willy? Shagging willy-nilly. But, to say that you've got to keep it till you've got a piece of paper in front of you, signed by someone like Kent, it's absolute nonsense. So there you go. And there we go. There's Mark. I'll just send it. Big Bad Mama. Let's expect Well, wives, be submissive to your husband's videos. Absolutely. Yeah. And we've predicted that here. That's a novel prediction. Someone tell Proverbs guy Dick Dan that we've done our own novel prediction. So they'll probably be worshipping us based on our prophecies after this, if they're to be true to their form. Robin Webster says she was not blowing it. That's why they split. I can't possibly say that. Mark, and quite rightly, says even if he broke up with someone, he wouldn't take a new girlfriend to shove it in her face. Absolutely not, and you're an evil atheist. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. And you do meet it, and it's a bit awkward, and people just smile and then go on. But you don't do it. I mean, that was just the worst. I hope you've seen that. You really need to see that clip, which I've put up very recently, again, a copy of it, where he takes a wedding ring and he says, waves it in front of her face, Cindy, you blew it. And then he introduces Sandra. And some people say at that point, Sandra should have known. And why I excuse her, as I say, love is blind, I'm sure Kent will go blind if he has to. I don't, yeah, maybe we won't. Well, he'll find someone again very quickly. He was prospecting on his show just the other day, saying, he just for some reason remembered some girl he used to hang around with at school, and anybody knew where she was, get in touch. I'm thinking, oh my God, how is that? Let me go further. Okay. And Frank says, but were they really married? Yeah, I mean, it is, yeah, we're not sure. But for all intents and purposes, we'll accept it. Yeah. No, Frank, Kent was not legally married to Cindy or Sandra. So that means he was legally married to Mary, but I don't know that they got a divorce. I think he tries to say that he annulled it. I'm not sure. He did annul the Cindy marriage, and he'll now probably do the same with the Sandra. But hopefully people, get over it by then. Yeah, de facto. De facto accused of having a Hovind boner. Yes, I get accused of having a Hovind boner all the time. And what I'm trying to say is that my only boner is trying to, and I do it pro bono, in other words, for free, is to try and save people from Kent's clutches. Let's have a look. Yeah, Mark says they certainly were de facto, but doesn't think that Kent thinks those are legit. He's probably quite right. Okay. Kent showed a video a couple of days back. Yes, according to the Bible, Kent has committed adultery 3 times because they were divorced without one going outside the marriage. Yeah. When he does that bizarre thing, he said, if an unbeliever departs, and we know the Bible when it's talking about an unbeliever departing, means an unbeliever in Christ. But he's twisted that to say an unbeliever in the marriage. Nowhere does the Bible refer to an unbeliever in the marriage. You're either a believer in Christ or you're not. It is so self-serving, and all these people can't see through this, Kent. It peeves me greatly. Okay, yes, Big Ben Mama said, I heard she left because of his lying and misogyny. Yes, that's something that was put up, something to that effect by the Diane, sister-in-law. And Mark says, no, these women believes Kent's facade, then they find out the truth. I don't blame them, but wife number 6 better watch out for those red flags. It's actually going to be wife number 5. What's got confusing is some people felt that Matt Powell was, in fact, one of Kent's wives. And I hate to disappoint them, but Kent doesn't believe in that sort of marriage. So, no. Matt was never an official wife. It is possible Stephen from Proverbs Guy must really regret him having married recently, because now that there's an opening at DAL, and of course you perhaps could write it in Kent's will that you inherit the kingdom, as it were. Okay. Just go further, definitely. No. Yes, I was a bit naughty to come up with that term. Pro bono, yes, that's legal work done for free. And departed from the magical law and thought. Now, one thing that I thought was funny was who called it on Kurisu's show. I think it was Kurisu's. Possibly Billy's, they call him Dr. Divorce. So that will probably be one of my new names for Kent, Dr. Divorce. It sort of sounds sexy when I say it, but it's anything but. Mark said, yeah, the Steve the tech guy, yes. Well, yes, that's, yes. Yes, you're quite right, Mark. In that case, there could be even more marriages than we thought about it. And it was a bit cheeky here, but Big Bad Mama says Steve the tech guy and his sadomasochism room. Yes, because when they went there to clean the place out before the police got there, after he'd been doing various things and substances, they did find all sorts of videos, and, shall we say, sadomasochistic stuff, which I don't actually give a rat's whatever what he normally, but except that he's this great Christian role model, and then if they do that sort of thing, I will go after them. Matt Powell wears lipstick. Yeah, well, possibly some of these guys do, especially if they're going to be in the camera. The interesting thing is if they go under lights for their lighting, those lights heat up and then lipstick would melt, and then you get lipstick transfer onto various parts of the anatomy of whoever. Well, we won't go into too much detail. Yes, yes. Now he has 4 doctorates in divorce, right? Yes. Is it 3 honorary and 1 earned? Actually, I'd say earned. I'd say all of his doctorates in divorce are earned ones, are all real ones, which is quite opposite to his other doctorates, which are got from Patriot University, a notorious diploma mill. And that notorious diploma mill is Kent's alma mater, and he's proud of it. I mean, that's the silly thing. And then there's this nonsense about him having majored in science and math. And everybody thinks, he's done a degree in some at bachelor's or master's or doctorate level in science, and they're all defending him. Now, just recently heard him say, and he doesn't deny it, and then he just said he majored in math and science throughout high school. Well, I don't know if that's the correct term. So an undergraduate, so not even a university student, and you're claiming you majored in math and science. Well, that's the highest he ever got to. Let's face it, the man is a bit of a midget mentally. Aidan, 3 divorces, 1 honorary divorce. Yes, that's right. Dr. Divorce. Yes. Dr. Divorce, no. Yes, it's like a combination of dino and divorce. Yes, Aidan, I'm well tonight. Yes, I'm getting a few little quips in, and occasionally I think I even get a laugh, which is... I was on Gangster's show, and it just was very hard earlier because I could not get a word in. And so I didn't throw my toys. The other day I threw my toys. I come on this show. These people have been yapping for ages about orthodoxy or whatever else. And I go on and on, and then I get a chance and I get to speak. And before I was even halfway through the sentence, so this person just started up. I said, I'm off. I'm not going to have that. So I did. I left in high dudgeon. I think that's the English term. Claude, I drew my shoulders up to head height and I stormed off. And you know what? Nobody gave the rat's ass. Typical. Yes, hi, Aidan. Frank says, when I heard about Sandra leaving, the song Goodbye Earl came to mind, yes. There was another song that I started to sing on. Yeah, when I heard about it too, and I've forgotten. Probably a good job. Davy, I majored in lunch and study hall. Yes. Well, you do know, this does remind me, and Big Bad Mama and I have had a laugh about it before, was that when Kent was at school, after he became a Christian, the age of 16, blah-blah bullshit, when he was the wrestling champion, the tennis champion, the chess champion, the judo champion, the karate champion, every kind of champion imaginable. He dated over 300 girls. Not he bonked one of them. He'd done double dates with his father in the Volkswagen or whatever. Anyway, I better remember what I was talking about. Yes, he and his friend, they were scared because when they were walking up the stairs that they might catch a glimpse of something that they might find tempting. So they would recite Bible verses and cover each other's eyes and grope their way up the stairs, presumably with the handrail, trying to avoid seeing anything that they perhaps shouldn't. And I just found that just funny, so funny. Oh dear. Big Bad Mama or Aiden or someone, you're not going to come on, are you? Are you? Oh dear, yeah. Not bad. Aiden, calling him a mental midget might be a compliment. Yes, that's right, because, I do know people who are very small and funny. One friend he calls himself a midget because that's possibly offensive to some people nowadays. So I don't want to offend short people, but this friend of mine, he's very direct, he calls himself a midget. But it reminds me of that Robert Tilton, that stupid evangelist who's speaking in tongues, Manda Bicasa, Manda Bicasa. We've seen, such and such here. We've seen midgets grow. And I don't make this stuff up. Yes, I did forget that he scored the winning touchdown in the city championship game too. Yes, it's just, it's everything. Enjoying the latest Hovind shenanigans. I'm working right now, Claude, otherwise I would, that's right. And I suspect that Big Bad Mama is working on Miguel. I'm not sure about that. I would love to see one of Kent's yearbooks to see what clubs and sports he was actually involved in. I do tend to think he was. He'd be one of those annoying people that was into everything. Whether he was as good at everything as he claims, I honestly don't. No, I have my doubts. I mean, he exaggerates. His father's an engineer, mechanical engineer. To be a proper engineer, mechanical, that's very tough. And you probably wouldn't be working on the assembly line at Caterpillar Tractor. So I'm not putting people do that down, but I'm saying that Kent exaggerates. He comes from a family of teachers and engineers. Well, yes, his mother was a kindergarten teacher, which probably would have suited Kent. But, the implication is always that he has, they're more grandiose, So I think he has something's happened in his life that he feels the need to overcompensate, and because he does. Didymus, I wonder if Sandra will talk. Well, I've booked her in. She'll be on in a few minutes. Oh, no, sorry about that. I don't know. What I think is this. She's a dignified person, but it'd be hard to get a more dignified person than Joe, his first wife, who said nothing. But I think the problem is if she says nothing, it's going to pave the way for Kent to absolutely spread absolute malicious stories and lies and falsely accuse her of all sorts of things, and it's going to be left up to people like myself and others on the show and other shows to try and defend her. So I'm hoping she will speak up we don't want to know any secrets, we don't want to know the size of his pee-pee or anything like that, nothing irrelevant. Although Kent is obsessed with animal ones. But anyway, we would like to know her side of the story if it comes to these horrible allegations, which I believe Kent will make. And I think it would also be good to know how in practical life Kent's narcissism and sort of hatred of women, chauvinism, comes through. And I think that would be very helpful if she would do that. Nobody blocked Kent. Unfortunately, he hasn't come on. Yeah. What does this mean? Sandra Cockblock. Oh my gosh. Little kid, yeah, put him back in kindergarten. Yes, you're right there. I wonder who. Well, the funny thing you asked that, Aidan, because on his show, was it today or yesterday? No, it must have been yesterday's one. He's trying to track down some woman who he shares the same birthday with. He hasn't seen her for years, and they were in school together. And it's just too much of a coincidence, to my mind, that he's suddenly trying to find this girl. So he will have this memory of this cute little thing, and not realizing now that she's his age. Well, he knows it, but he won't realize the implications because he always seems to go for someone considerably younger than himself. Yes, so that it's possible, but no, I think he'll try and go for a glamour one. And I wonder if he'll go and ask the poor woman, whoever he gets, if she's had a previous husband, will he go and ask permission like he did with Sandra? And come to think of it, should Sandra get remarried, will her husband have to go and ask permission from Kent? Do the decent thing or not? I'm not seriously suggesting this. It would be awful. Yeah. Here we go. He said he was a kindergarten dropout too. Well, I do know he pitches everything at, is it 4th grade level? I don't know what age 4th grade is. I don't know how that works in America, if somebody can tell me. But all Kent's science is so complicated you can't understand it. Well, that's because he can't understand it, and most of his minions can't. I'll be honest, I'm no great scientist either, but we do have some scientists that participate in these talks. And that's what we have them for, because they can explain stuff much better than Hovind. And I can still understand most of the stuff that seems to escape Kent's grasp. Yeah. Yeah, Mark, I think you're right. He wants a marriage for reputation and prestige. It's a terrible reason. I think he might want the nookie. Yeah, a bit of the old bonky, humpy, pumpy, rumpy, pumpy. But, must surely less of that nowadays, unless he's taking what do you call it? Testosterone. The only test he should do, in my view, speaking of testosterone, is a test on math at master's level, say. Let him do a sit-up paper. Let's see how good he really is. And also a IQ test, properly supervised IQ test. Yeah, that would be good. 4th grade is 9 years old. Well, actually, that's it. Well, many 4th graders are starting to inquire and think things through, and it is a tragedy that 4th graders could be influenced by Kent. Just a tragedy. And I see these people coming on, and they're going to let their kids, the Proverbs guys' kids, all those people, they're going to let them be influenced by Kent. It is tragic. The balls are alive, yes. The balls are alive with the sound of music. Yes. Mark is correct. It's just like his face reads about appearances. That's right. And that worked. Kent Hovind, you don't underestimate going along to a church audience in southern wherever, hillbilly land, and saying that he's a doctor. They all fall over back. Oh, he's a doctor. And of course, he's nothing of the sort. And he doesn't have to speak for very long before you can tell that. So Ken can't spell IQ. Simon Dan challenged Kent to take a sign test live, so he couldn't cheat, and he didn't accept. That absolutely says it. And speaking of that, that reminds the Claude of a situation or two in debates on that standing for truth, which is just crap. What a name. On his channel, and Kent has been helped by the moderators, and he's been fed information from his crew so badly that it's obvious to everybody. So yeah. Proverbs guys haven't been able to break 100 views for some time. That's quite right. And GG, Gangster Ghost, gets more views on his channel, for example, than those Proverbs guys. So yeah, he's just Proverbs guy is scraping the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, and Hovind claims his IQ is 160. That was Einstein's. Yeah, totally Einstein's. And as if Kent Hovind flying a paper aeroplane, shooting a rubber band is anywhere near an Einstein. Just married doctor, very important to him. Yes. Here we go. Dan shows probably the most entertaining. Yes, it's ludicrous. It's totally ludicrous, but entertaining. It's and you see these poor people in the Philippines. He goes over and literally bores the asses off them, in return for a free meal. And so they suddenly want to accept jibas. And just as soon as he's gone, they'd be going, what the? I would love to have the camera, after he's done one of his rants. They're all sitting there blankly. Once he leaves, Dan has left the building. What do those people actually say? It would be quite entertaining. Oh, right. Einstein 160. Yes. So, yeah, you're right. Kent made his 162. Yeah. Even Outcast is here somewhere? Or maybe? Oh, well, how come she's not in the... is she in somehow the private chat? No. Because hers is not showing up. Maybe I need to look back. Oh, no, she is. Yes. Yeah, sorry, I missed it. It's very hard being a one-man person when your only wrench holder is someone called Big Bad Mama, who has left you on your own to fend the show because he's not coming on, because he's running around with Miguel somewhere. That's all right. I'll take my medication alone. I'll manage. Don't worry about me. Okay. Cringe factor. Yes, the cringe factor is great. An absurd human being. It's quite amusing to listen to, but only if you're actually there to see what's entertaining ground. Otherwise, just boring. Yes. You're quite right. Big Man Mo is a year-old clip of DL Insider saying that Kent is accusing. Yes, yeah. I think. Yeah, I don't know if he was serious or not. There was something about that. But he will. This will come. He will now, because I think things were still okay. And even before Christmas, there they were singing a Christmas song. Or should I say Sandra was. Kent's singing is so bad. Because Sandra is normally a very, she holds a note, she holds a key, she holds a tune. But when she has to sing with him and he goes off, he drags her with him, and you can hear the pitch sort of slide, the key change, all accidentally. So it's going to be good. Her singing will improve greatly. I'm thinking it's probably time I did a reposting of my song Excuses, which was, if I don't mind saying so myself, was one of my best songs ever. And I recorded it, Big Bad Mama put it up with some illustrations. Excuses, that's the Hovind way. Well, I started on too high a note. And the devil here will find you, there's a new one every day. Anyway, I'll put that up because it's quite apt at the moment. Any idea who Midnight Blossom is? Midnight Blossom, was he the one that came on and every now and then someone comes on to Kent's show and he'll yell out something just really quickly, get it in before he gets booted. And I think that was Midnight Blossom, but I don't recognise the voice. Ah, yes, there's the answer. But there's previous phone calls where the people have gotten even more. Midnight Blossom only got in a little bit, but a few days ago there were one or two that actually got in some good shots. I mean, he's the most sensible caller into Kent's show. You know who that is? Okay, it's Creationist Crybaby, and Kent dodges and ducks and everything he can, whataboutism, every trick in the book. But he ends up looking like fool that he is. So Creationist Crybaby does very well. Yeah. Yep. What's it says? Hovind has a live call in and then has the nerve to act surprised when he gets pranked. Yeah, well, you just sort of you almost wonder if this is a deep Poe. You know what is a Poe? A Poe is someone who's so bad that you almost wonder if they're really working for the opposition. So you wonder if Kent and his tech guys are working for the forces of darkness because they're just so bad. Oh, here we go. Just put up a short of Stephen talking about Sandra and Kent's marriage from when they first got married. And thank you. I'm nerdy. I couldn't think of your new name. Of course, I was only on your thing just an hour ago. It was Truck Driving Billy. It's that nerdy Billy, and it's great. I recommend you look at all his stuff. He's put up a lot of some old stuff too, different things about Hovind. It's really good. And he even queries this time Sandra's email address, which has a 69 in it. And it just, where do you... And he's quite right. On a so-called Christian and moral show where they don't even know what 69 is, I'm sure. They've certainly never practiced it. What makes them think that that's a good idea to put that in the number? So, yeah. Now I've completely lost my train of thought. Yep. So I'll be looking at that once I've finished the stream, Nerdy Billy, about marriage from when they first got married. I should be able to find that easily enough. I think Creationist is just a Dan sock account. Big Bad Mama might disagree with you there, but since Big Bad Mama has not come on the show, I'm not going to stick up for him on that. Yes, I think possibly Creationist Crybaby is just a Dan account. Good to see you all. Alert me on lives. Yes, I have trouble too being alerted sometimes. Max says, I say we rebel against our masters and usher in the glorious revolution. Yes, I have a bit of experience in that in my family history. Yeah. A good crowd, yeah, brilliant, kind, fine. But no need to blow smoke up my derriere, Deviant. I know that's what you think. You don't need to actually say it. Davey Moe reminds me of Howard Stern. His team was really good at prank calls. Well, that would be classic, wouldn't it? If somehow we could manage to get one of you to come on and then phone Kent as that would be good. It would give him a chance to put his point of view, wouldn't it? Yeah. Well, Deviant Outcast is involved in Viva la Revolution. Okay. Ask away. Did Sandra used to offer Christian sex advice? I do remember something somewhere, but I don't know that it was that sort of. It was probably to teens, so it would be abstain. because abstinent makes the part grow fonder in the Christian world. No, I honestly don't know. Do have sympathy for Danes over US aggression towards Greenland. Yeah, pretty terrible thing. God, sovereignty of countries is very important. Sock puppet. To be frank, and here we go. Mod is on Discord. Now, what does someone tell me? What mod is on Discord? What does that mean? Because she's not in the show here. Is she on something else called Discord, or is Discord a chat group, or what? I'm a bit sort of behind the times. I didn't think that the Swedish disliked the Danes. I thought they were all birds of a feather, flocking together. Oh well. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yes, if everybody could like it, that is a bit of a help. But I'm not too worried. The ones I really like to get out there is when me and Big Bad Mama and Billy, when we put stuff up about the dreadful Hovind, it's great when those get lots of views. They're wonderful. Yes, Robert has disappeared, but he did make a comment in response to one of my comments recently, so I know he's aware of this latest development. Robert copped a bad rap from Kent, and Robert always seemed to be really. He did rub a few people in the wrong way, but what we mustn't become is like the Catholic, Orthodox, whatever, scrapping about all these things. If we've got one thing in mind, we must try not put aside some of our differences, minor differences, to concentrate on the main enemy, as it were, enemy of the people. People say that my channel is only focused on Kent Hovind. I strongly object to that. It's focused on Kent Hovind and Proverbs, guys. To my mind, they're very similar. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Matey did pop up. Yeah. What is this? Abstinence didn't help Mary. Oh, yes. You mean the Virgin Mary? Yes. I was thinking it might be someone else. Yeah. But yeah, that's why it's funny for me when I listen to the different people, whether they're pre or post or whatever trib, whether they're Orthodox, whether they worship Mary or just like her because she was Jesus' mother, and then it gets, but they're worshipping her. Oh my God, they're all this. That's something we must very much avoid. PGs, yeah, well, they certainly blow smoke. That's another thing on Billy's channel. He's put one up there where Boland, also known as Toilet Boland, does just introduce, and he just greases right up him. It's just awful. If he could have been performing a phallic act, he probably would have done so. He really it was just so over the top. So I don't know why he does that. And now that I believe he's left DAL, but he's still, he's still there. So there you go. What's that say? Yeah. So much on Robert Beatty's website. He might be able to put part of it up. Would be great if he could, or someone else could somehow host it. I don't quite understand myself. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, we're coming up to an hour, and it's just been the Claude. But I do appreciate it. There's plenty of stuff in the comments which has prompted me. So what I'm hoping next is that Kent will come clean. Yeah. we're like siblings. There we go. We're like siblings. We squabble amongst ourselves, teach each other, but dear and outside the family tries anything to unite. Yes, that's good. If BBM has a troll army, does Claude have a mime army? Yes, I do actually. You've obviously been peeking when we went to go into. I can't say anything more for reasons of national security. Mm. I've recently called, got Achilles as a flat Earth believer, so I call his church the Ortho Flat Earth. It's hard to say it. The Ortho Flat Orthodox Church. I thought that's quite a good name. The Ortho Flat Orthodox. Yeah. And then I said that those people, I said this earlier, I may as well not have said it. Nobody laughed. I put it in the comments on one thing that another form of church for those people that only believe in the missionary position as the only God-sanctified form of sex, I call them orthocox. They remember the Orthodox Church. And then there's another branch of that, the Greek Orthodox, and a lot of the conservatives won't agree with that, but that's the, any gay branch of that church. Because, anyway, I'm playing with the term Greek. Anyway, we won't go down that Trank? Sounds like I've been drinking, which I haven't been. Didymus, yes, I wish we could hear more from Diana Hovind. I do too. I don't know how to get hold of her. It is possible that someone like Big Bad Mama might know that, or even Robert Beatty. That would be good. So yes, I would like to hear from her. I would like to hear from when she feels able from Sandra. I think, as I say, it's important that she can give her side and rebut some of the crap that is going to come out from Kent. And if it's not from Kent directly, it'll be from his little mouthpieces scurrying around to blow him, as it were. So Sandra Gone Kent will be taking more tours by the hen house. Yes, it's possible. How come someone says, hey, Mark Reed, how's Down Under going? Oh, this is so unreal. Trump hasn't mentioned it yet in his upcoming Congress. Well, you have trouble conquering Australia in terms of the sheer size. The coastline is so big. I mean, they don't have the big population to defend. So they might, but, if there was any form of resistance, I also think that what they've learned from Afghanistan, if you have a determined population, it's very, very hard. Both the Russians, but Americans too, both came to grief in Afghanistan. So, yes, that's the name of the new Ortho Bros, Ortho Cox. Yeah. I suppose, does that mean an Orthodox church that you didn't like would be called Orthocox Uckers? Oh, well, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably sort of stretching the point a bit. Crap's already coming out from Joseph. Yeah, that's right. And, that had to have come from Kent. I personally don't think Kent wanted Joseph to spill the beans, but he was slurring his words a bit, and I think he just accidentally came out with it. But they would have been told. See, those people at DAL had to have known what had happened, and Kent would have had to have got them all together and said, look, this is what happened. She's bad. She's always been bad. She was trying to take over the ministry, and she took the money from the donations, which would be very hard because just about everybody else has already done so. Gonna go for it. Yes, I agree. It could be a sock account, the Diane Hovind account, but I don't think it's a Beatty sock account, and I actually just think it's that Diane Hovind. She does have some real ones as well, but I think it is the real. She sort of knows too much, and we do know that Kent doesn't get on well with his brother's sister-in-laws and his own kids. So, it sort of fits with that. Hi, Peter. Gonna go for it. Hi, BBM. So the greetings. Australians are famously stubborn. Yep, they just go bush. Quite right. And of course, the Aboriginal people, whom it might come as a great shock to Kent to know their civilization is something like, I won't get it exactly right, something like 40, 50,000 years old. So it's considerably older than the age of Kent's Earth. But, they can live off very little and very little water. So, they would have trouble. Do we know if Stephen has offered his new wife to Hovind yet? I don't think so, but I mean, I wonder if he's kicking himself more to the point that it could have been him that was offered to, we live in strange times. And I just wonder if, yes, he regrets he's got married prematurely. Oh, good. I've got it about right. 40 to 50,000 is about right, years ago. That's the Aboriginal civilization. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And they would find it very interesting that Kent thinks the Earth is 6,000 years old. It's just bollocks. In a way, Deviant, orthocox could also be used to describe Kent, not only conservative, but a cox as well. Alright, if he tries to invade Australia, they'll just have the emus take us out. They might well do. Yeah. Okay, look, folks, I'll knock it on the head now, and we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see if this flushes out Kent anymore. I hope it does. Mark, just to correct you, it would be civilizations, much like the Native American. Yeah. Yes, there were multiple different societies. Yes. I mean, it's one of the things, isn't it, Mark? There's so many different languages because, of course, Australia is such a vast continent that they had people living on one side would probably never have had contact. The distances were just too great. Yeah. Ortho bros are boring. Yes, I'm trying to think. Yes. They certainly can speak for a long time about absolutely F all, can't they? God. Goes on. Yeah. Oh, I gave lots of links. Oh, that was at the beginning. You should have told me earlier, but I'll put one on now, Deviant. You can come along and say hello. Yeah, here we go. We will go for another 10 or 15 minutes if Deviant wants to come on. Imagine if Deviant comes on, it'll probably be another hour. Oh, did I say that? No. Right. Yeah, why don't I pin it? That's a good idea, but I haven't worked out how to pin it. So when I put it up, I've got a star, but that's not it, is it? So I've got a 3 dots thing, okay? And I get delete, comment, put user in timeout, or ban user. But I don't get any that gives me the power to, maybe I have to give myself some permission somewhere in the, you should really unblock Kent and Eric. I know they're blocked because those accounts are yours. Except, I don't have anybody blocked on here. So Mark, it's really weird. I might, so I've got 3 dots, and even though I'm the boss of the channel, but what I'll do is I'll spend a bit of time just seeing if I can play around with some of the settings, and maybe that will solve the problem. How are you, Deviant? Outcast?
Hello.
Good.
I did hear your snide comment about
what about
somehow being slow.
Did I say that? Oh my God, they're all coming out, Mr. Detective. How are you, Mr. Detective?
I'm blocked on 2 accounts, on both Kent Hovind official and Eric Hovind official. I just put in a nice ad looking for a nice wife. Please call 855 Big Dino. Needs to bring Hawaiian shirts. No high expectancies in the bedroom department. And it didn't show. So I thought, I'll put in his son and saying, my dad's looking for a wife. That one didn't show either.
Yeah.
So both of those accounts are blocked. And then the worst one, Jesse P. Leaderton isn't blocked because he got through. It's sad. Sad, Claude. Claude, why do you have Kent Hovind blocked? That's not fair. He is the most hated creationist on the planet, and even you have him blocked.
Hello, Mark. God,
Mark.
I think he says he's the most hated person on the internet, actually.
Yes.
I think he actually says that, yeah. Because it's not enough to be the most hated creationist. He has to be the best and the biggest. And, you know.
Bad Mama put in a link to a video where he addresses just that. It's in the chat, and then around the 10-minute mark, he shows all the people that hate him.
Now, who is Berius Slack?
No, that's Frank.
That would be me. That would be Mr. Flowers.
Oh,
Then I don't have to write in the chat what I was going to write. I can just tell it straight.
I was going to write in the chat, someone should warn Soot Kettle. Now Hovind doesn't have a wife anymore. Maybe Deviant will be booking a flight too.
Oh no.
How to engage a woman's game.
Poor Deviant.
Why, Peter? What have I ever done to you?
Why are you going to throw Deviant to the wolves like that?
Yeah.
Look, maybe you've got a
can't end
chance,
this way.
Peter. You got to think about that.
So it was actually Soot who made me aware of the whole Sandra thing, and I really thank him for that. And we've been exploring things left, right, and center.
Look, Kent Hovind is the lolcow that just keeps on giving. Like, really, it's just, you know, like his moral sort of superiority, and then he can't manage to have a decent marriage because, well, he's a manipulator and a horrible person.
Or decent tech guys who can prevent the news getting out on his live streams every single time.
Decent tech guys are hard to find. I will grant that one kind of thing. But after like 4 marriages, like, come on, dude. Seriously?
Wait. You are in a hangout with me, and you're saying decent tech guys are hard to find. I find that highly offensive.
Well, I mean, in Alabama, maybe. Look, okay. Yes, I know a decent amount of good tech guys, but then again, I know a astounding amount of bad tech guys. Okay, so I mean, you know, I will stand by my comment.
In all fairness, Mark, his tech guys are really good. They're just muting the wrong person because 9 out of 10 times, even today's stream, half of the time Kent was muted. It was a great stream, actually. Just in the middle of the stream, his tech guy decides, okay, let's cut this out. There.
Why not?
Kent's gone. And no one in chat is worried about this because that's silent.
Yeah, because it's normal.
So that explains how many people actually listen to him. Because no one said a thing.
So
the first 8 minutes was silent, and then in the middle of the show, he went silent again. No one said a thing. But the Sandra Hovind who was in chat got banned.
Oh, really? Was there a Sandra Hovind in the chat?
Yeah. Yes, there was.
Oh, great. I love it.
There might be more. Who knows?
I would like to add something that I kind of been harping on in different.
There we go. I was trying to fix my
chats.
camera.
Is that a distillery? Are you distilling like vodka or something?
I am distilling. It's a
Moonshine.
half rum, half whiskey moonshine. Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
Nice.
That sounds like a recipe for a bad time. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, well, actually, it depends if it's white or brown rum. Yeah. It's
This
brown rum.
is an experiment.
There's only one rum, and that comes from Austria. It's called Stroh, and it's 80% alcohol or 160 proof, however you want to rate it.
I think that's factually incorrect. I think there's multiple.
Really
rums.
good stuff. I still have a bottle of that. I brought several. I used to travel there every week, so I brought enough bottles to last me a lifetime, and I still have some left. That's rum.
Rum is any distillate that is made from sugarcane or sugarcane products, molasses, etc.
Yeah, we've got tons of sugarcane up in Queensland, so Bundaberg rum is a thing. Yeah. Cool.
Hi, Tyrannotherium.
Hello.
So
I
what?
was
what
just
I-
recently watching one of Kent Hovind's videos of me.
I'm sorry.
He's saying that if you don't like me, I'll debate you, fat man, or some other stupid shit.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I just laugh.
Oh, and then when you don't, he'll go blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, Hovin.
He's like that.
Strangely enough, he doesn't do that to me.
Mm. It's the worst thing, you know. I mean, it's so childish, that thing.
So what really happened? Like, why did Sandra got a divorce?
Can I?
I don't know.
Can
We'll have to wait for the reenactment.
Yeah. I've been
Big-
trying. I've been trying to bring this thing up here a while.
I know that Big Bad Mama
Can you
showed
hear me?
the video.
Sorry, go
hold on.
Deviant, just 1 second. What'd you say, Deviant?
Yeah, Deacon, go ahead.
Yeah, it's the whole thing about the store that's claimed that Sandra stole among the
Right.
money. So that store is in Sandra's name. Hovind had it transferred to her at the time of the what's the word? The lawsuit, the civil lawsuit.
Yeah, with
Between-
Cindy.
Yes, with Cindy.
Right.
Yes.
So he's
Which-
trying to hide his assets.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now she has said, "I'm out of here," and of course he's already been spreading this false narrative, and his followers has eaten it up because that's
They
how
always
cult
do.
works. Yeah, they do, but
From what I know, there were several things in Dinosaur Adventureland that were transferred to Sandra's name. So it might not just be the store. She might have ownership of more things there. So
The store is the only thing
I don't know.
that-
Did Soot tell you show you the latest screenshot that I sent him, Deviant? Let me get that, because that's actually that would be
he
fun
showed
to
me. It depends on when you sent it, because he showed me a bunch last morning.
I hold on. I need to. There we go. And now I have to bring this up in OBS. So we all know who Ernie Land is, I
Yes.
presume.
Isn't that his lawyer?
Unfortunately.
No, he's the trustee. He is a
Uh,
multi-level marketer, and he was involved with the ownership of DAL.
Yes.
He's in
And guess
jail,
what
right?
Ernie Land posted less than 24 hours ago on his
Oh, tell
Facebook page.
I thought Ernie Land is in.
There you
prison.
go. Have a look.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh,
Sut did show me that.
That is some timing.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I thought he was in prison.
He should
Ernie
be.
Land? No.
well, it's a fair bet with anybody that's associated with Kent Hovind. Like,
Ernie Land
If-
Ernie Land is far too slippery to become imprisoned. He knows his things.
He's a dirty rat think.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I screenshotted that and I showed Soot.
Yeah, he
mean,
showed it to me. I don't
That
remember
is-
if it was today or last
Yeah,
week.
that's really weird timing.
Hope Big
For
Bad Mama
Hogan's
shows up.
money man to post this publicly on Facebook?
Yeah.
well, it can be interpreted a couple of different ways, right? It can be
Yeah.
interpreted like, oh, you've lost your wife, so you've lost something valuable. It can also be interpreted that a woman's only precious if she walks by your side.
Yes.
That's another interpretation you can make.
Yeah. Still, I mean, I don't think Hovind would like seeing that. However it's meant.
Yeah. It's amazing all these things happen just by accident and by chance. You know,
Yeah.
he just the other day he had up there, women obey your husbands. That was one of the things. He didn't talk about it, but it was flashed up one of the verses, women obey your husbands. And he does this all the time,
Mm-hmm.
But according to the theory of evolution, everything gets better all the time. So it's like these wives that I keep getting, they should just keep getting better and better over time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay then.
If only that works
Stupidest religion.
for his tech department. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Hi, Soot. Did I summon you?
Did Soot get a reply when I think he sent a message to Sandra, but I don't know if he got a reply. Probably not.
I don't think he had a reply yet.
Hey, look, Soot and Deviant are communicating in the chat, but they live in the same house.
I do that all the time. Like, come on now. Like, I'll be like sitting in my room and my wife's in the other room and we're messaging on Discord and I'm like, wow, we're really just like electronically constrained people here. Like, I don't judge that at all. That's completely normal. And how
That's
dare
interesting.
At least I have a good excuse because I'm in a separate cabin.
Yeah, I
Just
don't
so I
have
don't
that
keep-
excuse at all.
That's just because I keep getting everyone awake middle of the night. No, I shouldn't.
Well, in our defense, we do share a lot of memes and videos and stuff with each other. So if we did that, it would take ages to take the flash drive over there. So
Oh, I'm still laughing at you made a video of you dressing up as Kent Hovind and you did the Kent Hovind.
Yes, that was good.
I was cracking my ass
that
off.
wasn't me. That was absolutely Hovind. Don't that wasn't me. You liar.
Oh,
Maybe I should do that on my channel. Maybe I should just do mockeries of Hovind.
I
Ah,
actually
There is a guy who dresses up like him and does videos. I haven't found his content. Like Gangster Ghost showed some of the videos on his streams.
Power off.
And now I just realized that I owe Mark an apology.
Oh, you do? For what?
Yes, because so we had the holidays and then I completely forgot that I had to make something for you.
Oh no, that's okay,
I-
mate. It's okay. Things get busy. No, I understand. It's not a problem.
But I was curious. Did you get any replies to the first episode of the
A little
Emu
bit, but
Wolf?
not much. It took a whole bunch of doing, and I'm not 100% sure on it. And I don't know. I think my ADHD kind of kicked in, and I just didn't continue it, kind of thing. Like, so don't feel bad at all in any way, shape, or form, because I just sort of, I just didn't continue it, kind of thing.
I have several things ready just in case you should. I only have to finish up the intro with a few more screens. But
I don't know. I liked my intro. I thought it was fun. I liked it. I really did. So I wasn't too fussed. No offense, Pete. I'm sure you could do better. I just liked mine.
I mean, it's not a must if I finish it that you actually use it. I mean, it would be fun just to make something.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate it. I do. Like, don't get me wrong. And I'm not worried about it at all. So don't feel bad at all. Okay, it's totally fine.
I haven't finished. All I need to do is I put in a ton of screens, so I need to fill those with video, and then it's done. But the actual intro itself, that's already done. I just need to grab some video here and there.
Friends, I have to finish in a few minutes. Does somebody want to start another show? Like Mark, do you want to do a show tonight?
Not really.
You don't, right? Okay.
Not really. No, I'm playing a game, so I'm kind of chilling at the moment. I don't hosting.
Yeah, I'm going to get yelled at too soon. So, so probably...
I should be working on my show tomorrow, but I'm being slack. All right, don't judge me. Don't Claude. Stop judging me. No, Claude. Don't judge me. All right.
Claude, this would be a good time to remind Big Bad Mama that he was supposed to be going to do live shows in 2025, and it is 2025.
So, that is so good. I would love that. You could call it the Big Bad Show. I would so love that. Dude, I'm on board.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
The Big Bad
He's
Mama
going to
show.
put up a very good video tomorrow. So make sure you check tomorrow. He says that I'm going to really like what he puts up. So I won't be able to sleep waiting for it.
Mama, make all my dreams come true.
Big Bad Show. That's not bad.
Yeah, look, folks, thank you for joining in eventually, even though I did the first hour solo, as it were.
Claude,
because you didn't put in the link.
By the way, just before you go, you got to turn on advanced features of your channel. I've looked it up. I got into IT mode.
Features, okay.
Yeah, so there's a setting for advanced features, and you've got to turn it on for your channel in order to pin comments. It might take like 24 hours or something to turn on, but it's not a great big deal.
Thank you very much. That's very good. Okay, folks. Thank you and goodbye. And we will look forward to another episode of other shows tomorrow. But I won't be on tomorrow. Okay. Bye.
And pray for Hovind's new wife.
Thank you for having us on.
Well, I give my thoughts to Sandra. Positive thoughts.
Okay.
I'll send Sandra your best.
Thank you.
Sure.